कोऽन्योऽस्ति सदृशो मया यक्षये दर्शयामि मूढस्य इति अज्ञानाविमोहिता. The meaning is the demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Huh? Is one person who is creating havoc. This is precisely
Precisely.
what he is thinking.
What is thinking?
He's saying America
He's
is the
saying
richest
America
country,
is the richest country,
but foreigners
but
have
foreigners
made it
have
poor.
made it poor
Huh? By
by
trying to exploit
trying
from
to
us.
exploit from
So I
us.
will make it rich
So I will
again.
make it rich again.
Thinking, so much wealth I
So
do
much
have
wealth I
today,
do have today,
and I will gain
and
more
I will
according
gain
to my
more
schemes.
according to my schemes.
So much is mine
So
now,
much is mine now,
and I will increase
and I
it
will
in the
increase
future
it in the future
more and more.
more and more.
He is my enemy,
and
and I have killed him.
killed him.
And my other enemies,
And my other enemies will also be killed.
I am the Lord of everything.
everything. I am the
I am the
enjoyer.
enjoyer.
I am perfect,
powerful, and happy.
Precisely.
Precisely.
I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifice, I shall give charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by. So, very much
this knowledge is required.
because in absence of knowledge, what is there?
Ignorance.
In
And in
ignorance,
ignorance, the person
the
thinks
person thinks
that he can conquer.
that he can conquer.
Who
Who
has
has
been
been the greatest conqueror in this world
in the history? Huh? Who? British?
Alexander. You heard Alexander? क्या बोलते हैं जो जीता वही? No. Sikandar lost. Alexander lost. And where he lost? India. He was very young. He came from Macedonia. Macedonia is the Greece. And from Greece, he started conquering and came up to India. And he was able to win over all the empires. And he killed so many, so much bloodshed was done. And when he came to India, then he heard of a sage, of a saint. He's called Dandamis. And in his pride, he sent his commander to tell Dandamis to come and meet him. And Dandamis used to stay in a forest, in a secluded place. So when this commander-in-chief
Commander-in-chief
Alexander
of Alexander
reached
reached
Dandamis,
Dandamis,
and he said,
the
God
God
of
of Jews,
Alexander
Alexander
the
the Great,
has called.
has called you.
If you come,
If you come,
he will
he
reward
will
you.
reward you with gold.
And if you
And
don't,
if you don't,
he will be
he
ready.
will behead you.
So
So
Dandamis
Dandamis
remained
remained
silent.
silent.
And he said,
This person cannot be God.
He is
He is
a
a
killer.
But
But
he
he
can,
can,
what can he kill me?
He
He cannot even touch me.
Tell him that I have no interest in meeting such killers. So this general of Alexander was taken aback because no one in the world dared to overrule Alexander.
So he went
He went
back
back
and he told
and told
Alexander
Alexander
that this
that
person
this
has
person
no
has no fear.
he does not fear.
He does not fear me.
And
And
so Alexander
so
wanted
Alexander wanted to meet him.
His curiosity,
His curiosity became
became
even million times
when he was
when he was
refused.
refused.
So then he
Then he
decided
decided
to
to
come
come
himself.
himself.
And when he came, so
So
Dandamis
Dandamis
asked him, why
have you come?
What is the reason that you have come here?
And he said, you have nothing to offer.
Nothing to offer me.
Gandhi said, "You have nothing to
Gandhi
offer
said,
me
"You have
because
nothing to offer me because
your thoughts
your thoughts
are
are
of pleasure,
of pleasure,
gold,
gold,
and
and
how
how
to
to
kill
kill
people.
people.
You
You
fear
fear
death
death
and
and
you
you
despise
despise
God.
God.
And
And
for
for
us,
us,
there
there
is
is
no
no
fear.
fear.
We despise death
Death
and
and
we
we
love
love
God.
God.
So, in this way, Alexander was completely defeated. So, it is very important. If divine persons are not there in this world,
World,
then who will be there? It will be filled with demonic people. And whose duty it is to give knowledge to these demonic people? Divine people. But we
but we
do
do
not
not
take
take
up
up
this
this
responsibility.
responsibility.
By being
By
irresponsible,
being irresponsible,
slowly and slowly, what we are doing,
slowly and
we are
slowly what we
supporting
are
the
doing,
demonic.
we are supporting the.
There is no need of any
There
war.
is no need of any war.
Can you find in
Can you
history,
find in
last
history,
50 years,
last 50
how
years,
many
how
countries did
many
Iran
countries did
hit
Iran hit
or
or
conquer?
conquer?
Not even
Not even
one.
one.
So
So
why
why
this
this
kind of
kind of
mentality
mentality
will be
will be
there?
there if we
Do
do
not
not
receive
receive
this
this
divine
divine
knowledge.
knowledge?
So it is imperative. I am happy that you have brought your smaller family members
Members
also.
also, your sons and kids. This is the right time to give them this teaching. If they do not, if we do not put the seed of divinity, by default, the seed of the weed, not the seed, the weed of demoniac mentality will be there. So it is important. Thank you for bringing your. Where is that boy who was reciting Bhagavad Gita verses last time? Who was sitting here? You were there? What's your name? Yeah, yeah, you were sitting here last time? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You are. Okay. I'm looking for you. Come and sit here, the first seat. You also be seated? Okay. You sit here. So we are continuing on the 10th chapter. The 10th chapter gives us the insight or the vision how to see the Supreme Lord in His creation. And day to day, normal life, what we are able to see and perceive with our gross material eyes. In that also, Krishna is enabling us to be able to see Him. So we will have invocation and then we will continue. Krishna has started to reveal His uh, mystic opulence, His divine expansions in the universal creation. You have the Mangalacharan with you, the invocation page. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pad Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे Hare Krishna. So after being requested by Arjuna that how to be able to see Krishna everywhere and at all times, the purpose of all our spiritual endeavor is only one, is to be able to remember Krishna and not to forget him. But what is the impact of the illusionary energy? That we are not able to remember Krishna and we always forget him. So we have to reverse our thought process. So how to be able to do that? So Arjuna in the 17th verse, he inquired, O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? And Krishna begins to answer from the 19th verse. We did the 19th and the 20th verse last time. Krishna says that yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations. So, how Krishna manifests in this material world, in the cosmic manifestation, how we can see him, how we can connect with him, but only of those which are prominent. So, Krishna will say of only Pradhanyata. Pradhanyata means the chief ones, the major ones. Because there is no limit to Krishna's manifestation. And how he began? Anyone remembers what was the last verse? What is the first manifestation of the Supreme Lord in this material world? How he manifests? Very good. Very good. Thank you. What is the verse? Excellent. Verse number is 20. But very good. It is very inspiring. So he is hearing attentive. So the first manifestation, Krishna says that he is seated in the heart of everyone as the soul. So never ever we are alone. The biggest disease of the modern generation is one. What is that? Loneliness. With the mobile technology, you have only this gadget to be with. No one else. But actually, there is never loneliness because the super soul is always accompanying us. But we do not have any cognizance of it. We don't have any experience of it. So the first manifestation, Krishna says that Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhut Ashaya Sthita. That I am seated in the heart of everyone as the super soul. And then he says that Aham Adish, that I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all living beings. So we discussed how Krishna is the beginning, how he is the creator, how he is the middle, that is the maintainer, and how he is the end, the dissolution also. How did we explain this? Who remembers? How Krishna is the beginning, the middle, and the end? Is it a mere statement or it is a reality? Huh? Very good. All the three Vishnu avatars. The three Vishnu. A Mahavishnu creates. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. They have started to get the taste of God. Very important. If you come in good association and if you hear, it is impossible not to fall in love with Krishna. Only unless and until a person is demoniac. Unless and until he is really, in the past life, he has been very sinful.
Otherwise, if the magnet comes in touch with iron, how can it not be attracted? Only under one condition. If the iron is rusted. Then what we have to do? We first have to remove the rust. Then it will automatically be attracted. So we see further how Krishna speaks the 21st verse. Adityanam aham Vishnur Jyotisam Raviram Shuman Marichir Marutamasmi Nakshatranam aham Shashi Adityanam aham Vishnur Jyotisam Raviram Shuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Okay, recite. Wait. Both of you wait. Here. Very attentively here. If you will hear 2-3 times, automatically you will know. Okay, recite. Let the senior ones recite first. So you want him to recite? Wait. Let others recite. Recite. Don't feel shy. Recite. Adityanamaham Vishnu. Marichir Marutamasmi. Nakshatranamaham Shashi. Recite.
Adityanamaham Vishnu.
Adityanamaham Vishnu.
Isham Shuman. Marishishmarutamasmi. Nakshatranamaham Shashi.
Nakshatranamaham Shashi. Recite. Adityanamaham Vishnu. Marichir Marutamasmi. Nakshatranam aham Shashi. So here Krishna is saying that Adityanam aham Vishnu. So Aditya means that is splendorous, from where emanates light. Which emanates light. So there are many objects which emanate lights, but the most prominent is the sun. Is there any other object which is as prominent in emanating light as the sun? Is there any luminary which can be compared to the sun? So when we see the sun, then what we should do? We should remember Krishna. Actually, sun is said to be the eyes of Krishna. Yat chakshureva savita sakala grahana. And second meaning is Aditi. Aditi is the mother of the divine, of the devas, the demigods. So she has 12 sons. And those 12 months also we have. The 12 months we have. So amongst the sons of Aditi, the most prominent one is Vishnu. I will explain this. And then he says, Jyotisam Ravi Ramshuma. And amongst all the luminaries, I am sun. And Marichir Marutam Asmi. So amongst the Maruts, I am Marichi. There are two wives of Kashyap Muni, many wives of Kashyap Muni. Two of them are prominent. One is Aditi and the other is Diti. They are both the daughters of Prajapati Daksha. So from Aditi, all the sons which came, they are all Devas, demigods. And the sons which came from Diti, they are all demons. Who is the prominent?
Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakashipu.
Okay, very good. You have studied the book? Okay, very good. So, so these are the two lineage coming. Father is the same. Kashyap Muni is the same father. Huh? But the sons of Aditi are all demigods, divine. And the sons of Diti are all demons. They are all demonic. So, amongst the Maruts, it is Marichi and Nakshatra names. Amongst all the stars, Krishna says, I am Shashi, the moon. All of us see every day the sun and the moon. So when we see the sun and the moon, what we should remember? That this is a spark of splendor of Krishna. This is Krishna's opulence, his divine opulence, his energy which is manifesting in this form. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And amongst the star, I am the. So Krishna is giving his representation here. So there are 12 Adityas. So Aditi Devi has 12 sons. It is mentioned, I did a little bit of research. In the Wikipedia, it is mentioned that Aditi, she had 12 sons. And the names are also given. Some of the names, you know Indra, you know Varuna, and then Vishnu is also there. Vishnu in the form of Vaman. Vaman. Why? Because when first Diti gave birth to Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh. And these two were so demonic, they were so mighty that they drove away Indra out of the kingdom of heaven. And then Aditi became morose and she requested her husband that she wants to have a son which can, kill these demons. So then in the course, both of them were killed. They were killed by the Supreme Lord. Hiranyaksh was killed by Varahapta. Very good. And Hiranyakashipu was very good, very smart. And then the Indra became the king. Indra became the king. And when Indra became the king, from Prahlad's generation, there were other kings, especially Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj, you heard Bali Maharaj? Although he was in the demoniac family, but he was a great devotee. He is a Mahajan. And he was so powerful that the Agon came and drove Indra out. So Aditi performed the Payovrata sacrifice and she gave birth to Vamandev, the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And Vamandev, what he did? He tricked Bali and took away the kingdom and gave it to Indra. So here it is being said that amongst the Aditi's son, I am Vishnu. She had 12 sons, as I said, and the prominent one, apart from the demigods, they are Indra and Varuna and Mitra, and there is Aryama. Aryama, you know? You heard? Aryama. He is also, he from the sun. And then Vivaswan is also one. So in this way, there are 12. But the prominent one is Lord Vishnu in the form of Vaman. So there are 12 Adityas, of which Krishna is the principal. So the ones which are the principal one is being mentioned here. So And amongst all the luminaries shining in the sky, the sun is the chief. And in the Brahma Samhita, the sun is accepted as the glowing eye of the Supreme Lord. This verse is mentioned, I think it is there in the 4th chapter, 1st verse. Because this knowledge, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna first gave to whom? He gave to Sun God. Yes, it is there in 4.1. That verse from Brahma Samhita is mentioned here, which Prabhupada is mentioning here. It is there stated that in this millennium, the sun god is known as Vivaswan. You see the second paragraph? Found it? 4.1. Found it? 4.1. Second paragraph. In this millennium, the sun god is known as Vivaswan, the king of the sun, which is the origin of all planets within the solar system in Brahma Samhita 5.52. Yeah, this is the same verse Prabhupada is quoting. It is stated, Yachakshureva Savita Sakala Grahana Raja Samast Suramurti Rashesha Teja Yas Agneya Brahmati Samvrata Kerala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. You did not find 4.1? 4th chapter and 1st verse. You found it? You should all have your personal copy of Bhagavad Gita. How many of you are not having mobile phone? Please raise your hand. How many of you are without mobile phone? No one? No. Maya madam has come without mobile phone. I'm not asking about the kids. Those who are under 16. You all have your mobile phone. To connect with the people of this world who are all temporary. But to connect with the Supreme Lord, you need Bhagavad Gita. But you don't have a copy, then what it means? How will you connect? You should have your own copy and also a notebook. So many times I have told you. So let me worship. Lord Brahma said the Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, who is the original person and under whose order the sun, which is the king of all planets, is assuming immense power and heat. The sun represents the eye of the Lord and traverses his orbit in obedience to his orders. This is what Srila Prabhupada is writing here, that the sun is the chief, come back to this verse 10.21. The sun is the chief, and the Brahma Samhita, the sun is accepted as the glowing eye of the Supreme Lord. Then, amongst the Maruts, there are 50 varieties of wind blowing in space. And of this wind, the controlling deity is Marich, representing Krishna. So Diti, when she was pregnant and she was following this another work, so Aditi did Payovrat work and she got Vamandev. Then Diti also performed Purvrat. It is all mentioned in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. All the details are there. And while observing the Vrata, she made some mistake. Who? Diti. And Indra got the chance because Indra was knowing that if Mother Diti, if she delivers the child, that child will be for the purpose of killing me. So Indra entered the womb of Mother Diti and he cut the Marus first into 7 and then each one into another 7. So they all became 7 into 7 is 49 and one original 50. But because she was performing devotional service on the instruction of Kashyap Muni, none of them died. And they all became what? They all became demigod. And they are the representative of the blowing of the winds in space. There are 50 varieties of wind blowing in space. No scientist can ever find it out. It's an open challenge. They will never be able to find it. But here Krishna is explaining here in the Bhagavad Gita. So there are 50 varieties of winds
flowing in space. And of this wind, the controlling deity Marichi represents Krishna. So amongst them, the controller, the controlling representation is with Marich. So Bhagavad Gita is very interesting. You come to know about this entire world. Otherwise, you'll never know. And amongst the stars, the moon is the more prominent. What is the difference between sun and the moon? Wait. One at a time. But let others also answer, yes.
You can light, but to reflect the light and it do not have its own.
This is the difference. The sun is the original source of light, whereas the moon, it receives light. On its own, it does not have light. Very good. So it says that among the stars, so the moon is also a star. It is not a source of light, direct source. The moon is the most prominent at night, and thus the moon represents Krishna. So Prabhupada says it appears from this verse that the moon is one of the stars. Therefore, the stars that twinkle in the sky also reflect the light of the sun. The theory that there are many suns within this universe is not accepted by Vedic literature. I don't know, somebody claims that there are many suns. Some theories there. It's a false. It's a complete false. If one sun, if the sun comes a little closer to the earth, now we will face it. It comes a little closer. So what we experience? Such temperatures, such rise in temperature. If there would be more than one sun, then what will happen? Everything will be burned. Everything will be completely burned. The sun is one, and its reflection of the sun, the moon illuminates. So also do the stars. Since Bhagavad Gita indicates herein that the moon is one of the stars, the twinkling stars are not suns, but are similar to the moons. So all this we see the cosmic manifestation. Yeah. In the we can see the creator in his creation. You can see the creator in his creation. Similarly, if you want any discussion on this, or should we proceed? Huh? No, we should have discussion to have better understanding. Otherwise, we will see the sun, but we will not remember Krishna. We will see the moon, but we will still not remember Krishna. Do we drink water or not? Huh? How many times in a day we touch, taste, or use water? In a day, only once. 10 years, even more. But do we ever remember Krishna? No. Krishna said in the 7th chapter, Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya Prabha Asmi Shashi Shurya. He has already said, Prabha means the light. He says, Prabha Asmi, both of the Sashi, that is the moon, and Surya, which is the sun. So it requires what? It requires devotion. So we have to train our senses, we have to train our mind, we have to train our intelligence to be able to see through the eyes of the scriptures. We are not seeing through the eyes of the scriptures or through the eyes of Bhagavad Gita. So whenever we see sun and the moon, what we should do? We should be able to thank Krishna. Otherwise, we will not remember Krishna. That it is the gift of Krishna. Last time I was discussing, do we pay the sun bill? No. Now why we should not pay? When we are utilizing the energy of the sun. So it is a gift. It is a gift from the Supreme Lord. Any question? Or any query or any discussion on this? Yes? Sound will come. It will come. Like you were asking, what is geometry? Ask. You should allow your inquisitiveness to be active. Because without the inquisitiveness, nothing will enter into our heart. It will remain in the book. Okay, I said these are the wait, let him ask. These are the 12 sons of Mother Aditya. 12 sons of Mother Aditya. Okay. I'll tell you the names. Wait a minute. They are Mitra, Varuna, Bhaga, Amsha, Animan, Martanda, Vivaswan, Twashta, Savita, Dhata, Ushan, Indra, and Vaman. Wait. Who's the eldest among all of them? The first name which is mentioned is of Daksha. Daksha.
Okay. Okay, I'm proceeding to the next because I don't see any inquiry coming. Vedanam Samvedo Asmi. Devanam Asmi Vasava. Indriyanam Manashchashmi. Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Vedanam Samvedo Asmi. Devanam Asmi Vasava. Indriyanam Manashchashmi. Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Recite those who have not recited. Vedanam Samvedo Asmi. Devanam Asmi Vasava. Indriyanam Manashchashmi. Bhutanam Asmi Chetanam. Boys. Vedanam Samvedo Asmi. Devanam Asmi Vasava. Indriyanam Manashchashmi. Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. So Krishna says there are 4 Vedas. Actually, there were 3. Rig, Sam, and Yajur. And these Vedas were coming by oral recitation. But before Kali Yuga began, so Vyasadeva knew that in Kali Yuga, memory is going to be very, very limited. No one is able to remember it. So he divided the Vedas, classified the 3 into 4. He made another Veda called Arthava Veda. And he gave it in the text form. So Krishna says that amongst all the 4 Vedas, Vedanam Samvedo is the Samved. And among all the Devas, among all the demigods, he is Indra. Vasava is the king of the heavenly planets, which is Indra. And amongst all the Indriyas, Indriyas means the senses, Krishna says, I am the mind. The most prominent sense is the mind. Mind is which control all our senses. It also controls our intelligence. And he says, Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Among all the living entities, I am the life force, the consciousness. You see? He is there as the super soul also. He is there as the life force also. So Prabhupada begins the purport. He says that the difference between matter and spirit is that matter has no consciousness like the living entity. Therefore, this consciousness is supreme and eternal. Consciousness cannot be produced by combination of matter. It's a short. But it does not explain all this. So as I said that amongst all the demigods, he is Indra. One aspect we should discuss that Indriyana Manashchashmi. That amongst all these senses, I am the mind. The mind is the most formidable of all our senses. It is like the software which runs the hardware. All our actions, all our activities, it is all governed by mind. What do you want? You want something? You are. Samved is one of the branch of the Vedas. I have not ventured into it. Because Krishna says, Vedeshta sarvera hamaiva vedya. Vedanta krit ved videv chaham. The purpose of the Vedas is to know him. So we are directly knowing him from Bhagavad Gita. So why should I go into that indirect deliberation? You understand the point? Huh? If you are getting milk, the purpose of milk is to relish lassi. And if you get direct lassi, then why you are, mentioning that first I will boil the milk, then I will, uh, get the milk saturated, condensed, and then I will, what it is said. Then you will prepare lassi. If you get lassi, directly drink. Why go to the process? We have received Bhagavad Gita. There is no need for us to go to the various branches of the Vedas. That is elaborate. If you go into the Samvedas, Samveda basically represents, there are many hymns. Hymns, you understand? It is musical. Recitations are there of the glorification of the Supreme Lord. But no glorification of Supreme Lord can be compared to the glorification of Bhagavad Gita. So Indriyanam Manaschasmi. Amongst all the senses, Krishna says, I am the mind. But when we can see the true representation of mind as Krishna, Krishna has already spoken about it in the Bhagavad Gita. When actually we can say that our mind is the representative of the Supreme Lord. Krishna has spoken about it. He has already given the discourse in the 6th chapter. Anyone remembers? Wait, let them think. When can we say that the representation of our mind is truly Krishna? Krishna spoke in the 6th chapter, 5th and 6th verse. He has already given this discourse, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Just see, 6th chapter, verse number 5th, 6th, and 7th. Sit. He says one must deliver himself with the help of the mind and not degrade himself. Got it? One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So when the mind supports us in following Krishna, then it is truly our friend and it is the representative of Krishna. But when the mind opposes us to follow Krishna, then the mind is our enemy. Next verse he says, for him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. And in the 5th chapter, 29th verse, Krishna says, I am the best well-wishing friend. When we have conquered the mind. The mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. And how to know where we are? 7th verse gives the conclusion. He says, for one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. No confusion. Huh? How many of you have reached the super soul? Huh? For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. For he has attained tranquility.
To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. So what we have to do? Actually, all our spiritual teachers, all our acharyas, they tell us that we have to train our mind to accept Krishna's instructions. We have to train our mind to accept Krishna's instruction. Whom we are following? Are we following Krishna or are we following our mind? So we have to replace our master to be Krishna rather than be our mind. If our mind follows Krishna's instruction, then he is our best friend. And he is a representative of Krishna. Mind means something very difficult. हाँ, माइंड का मतलब मन ही है. हाँ, मन सटल है, हम उसको देख नहीं सकते, लेकिन उसका प्रभाव हमारे ऊपर सबसे ज्यादा है. माइंड इंग्लिश वर्ड है और मन हिंदी है, लेकिन ये हमारी सबसे पावरफुल सेंस है. सेंस समझते हैं? जैसे सेंसर होता है ना, सेंसर क्या करता है? हर चीज को डिटेक्ट करता है. तो हमारी भी जो एग्जिस्टेंस है उसमें सबसे ज्यादा डिटेक्टिव फोर्स कौन है? वो है हमारा माइंड. मन का क्या? See, I'll tell you. I'll help you. What is mind? What are the functions of mind? Mind, everything which is there in our memory, it is there stored where? It is in the mind. Okay. Whatever past experiences we have, where it is stored? In the mind. Whatever desires and aspirations we have, where it is stored? In the mind. How it is activated? Through the mind. Mind is always, there is sankalpa and vikalpa. Shastra says, mind is always like a pendulum. You've seen a clock? It is always rotating. Left, right, left, right, left, right. So, there is sankalpa. Sankalpa means to do some action. And what is the action based on? Desire. And what is that desire based on? Enjoyment. So, anything and everything which is favorable for my enjoyment, the mind wants to aspire and perform it. And anything which we feel is an obstacle, the mind wants to immediately reject. So the mind is always oscillating between these two aspirations, acceptance and rejection. Okay. This is one of the main functions of the mind. Mind is very active. Krishna has already explained, Arjuna has said, Chanchala hi mana Krishna, Ramanti balvadrinam. It is very chanchala. Why? Because it is always deliberating how I can enjoy or what is, opposed to my enjoyment. So it is acceptance and rejection. It is called sankalpaha and vikalpaha. It is hyperactive. अलग है ना. आती ये तो नहीं कहते ना बुद्धि तो पागल है, मन पागल है ना. हाँ, मन चंचल है.
मतलब क्या बुद्धि से है कि
नहीं, माइंड से मतलब मन से है. 3 सटल एलिमेंट्स है. देखिए, जैसे हमारी बॉडी है जिसमें हम एक दूसरे को देख रहे हैं, तो ग्रॉस जो बॉडी है उसको देखते हैं, जो स्थूल पार्ट है, which is gross, which is visible. But subtle means which is finer than gross, which is not visible. मन दिखता है? नहीं दिखता है. बुद्धि भी नहीं दिखती है. तो there are within the gross body there is subtle body, which is not visible, but it is like a software. जैसे आप अभी लैपटॉप देख रहे हैं, तो ये लैपटॉप आपको दिख रहा है, लेकिन इस लैपटॉप में एक प्रोग्राम है जूम। उस जूम के थ्रू मेरे साथ इतने सारे डिवोटीज और हैं, 12-15 लोग और हैं, मैं उनको भी देख रहा हूँ, वो भी मुझे देख रहे हैं। तो ये सॉफ्टवेयर क्या है? हाँ, ये सटल है। सॉफ्टवेयर कहाँ स्टोर्ड है, दिखता है? नहीं दिखता है। हाँ, वो कहीं ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में कहीं अंदर पड़ा हुआ है। इट इज नॉट विजिबल। इट इज विजिबल? नो। बट दैट सॉफ्टवेयर मेक्स द प्रोग्राम operational, and because of that operation, because the software, we can perform so many functions. So our gross body works according to the program of the subtle body. Subtle body has 3 elements, that is mind, intelligence, and false ego. Mind is amongst the three. Mind is gross, intelligence is more subtle, and false ego is the subtlest. This is the second layer, that layer which is not visible. And then there is the final layer, which is more subtle, and that is the spiritual part, which is the soul and the super soul. Okay. So mind is beyond gross, but it controls the gross. It is because of our mind that what the mind desires or demands, we perform or we act according to the dictates of our mind. So Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita that what we have to do, we have to offer our mind to Krishna. This is the entire Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is only desiring and demanding only one aspect from all of us. What is that? Is to offer our mind. He is not asking to offer our wealth. He is asking to offer our mind. Maya sakta mana partha yogam yunjam madashraya. So where the yoga begins, where connection with Krishna begins, when we in our mind connect with him, then yoga begins. But our mind is so programmed that we always forget Krishna. So if there is no yoga, then what is there? Viyog. We are having viyog from Krishna. But we are not even conscious of that viyog. We said we don't want Krishna. And we are happy alone. So this is, we have to train the mind. The entire purpose of yoga practice is to train the mind, to make the mind become our friend. And that controlled mind, that trained mind is the representation of Krishna. Okay. Any other discussion? I want to go slowly because I can just cover in 2 or 3 sessions, but that will not benefit you. Because our thought process has to undergo some shift or some change. To the extent we execute and accept that change, to that extent we will benefit. Because the purpose of Krishna revealing all this splendor in the cosmic manifestation is to connect with him. That is required. This is Indriyanam Manaschashmi. And he also says Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. So consciousness cannot be produced. That is why Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he said that you cannot create a living entity by adding some chemicals. Can we do that? No. Yes. Okay, good question. Very good question. Is consciousness and the soul same? What is your understanding? Just express whatever is your understanding. Very good. Correct. Body is matter now. But consciousness is not coming from body. So it is spiritual, like the sun. From the sun comes the heat and the light. But is the heat and light the sun? It is a energy. It is the energy of the sun. When we see the light, as soon as we see the light, there is light in the morning. So immediately what we can think? that sun has arisen. That is why light is there. So similarly, consciousness is a symptom of soul. If the soul is there in the body, one is conscious. If somebody pinches us, we will react. But if you take a dead body and if you cut it, is there any reaction? Why? Because the soul has left. So it has become unconscious. It is dead. Got it? Clear? Thank you. Please ask. Very important. You should inquire. If you inquire, then the philosophical conception can enter. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get the philosophical conception entered in our dry brain. It does not register. Online also, you can ask. Anyone has any question? So Krishna is saying how to be able to see him in his creation. Again and again, Krishna is explaining. He explained in the 7th chapter. He explained in the 9th chapter. Again, he is explaining in the 10th chapter. And he will give a graphic view in the 11th chapter. But that will be very, very horrendous. Yes? Okay, ask. Yeah. There were the two wives of Kashyap Rishi. The sons of Aditi were all divine. They were all demigods. But the sons of Diti were demonic. The entire description is given in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Diti was very obedient to her husband. And she carried out all the instructions very, very diligently. Whatever Kashyap Muni asked. But Diti was a little more restless. And her desires were more prominent than the instructions of Kashyap Muni. Kashyap Muni told him that this is not the kind of time for having union. It's not the right time. But she forced. He also warned her. But she did not agree. The very most important thing is that is the training of the mind. The mind wants to remain wild and independent and uncontrolled. It wants to control others, but not to accept the authority of the Supreme Lord. So this is where the difference is between the divine and the demoniac. What is basic difference between divine and demoniac is the obedience. Is the obedience. The divine, they never ever contest, argue, or refute or challenge. They accept the authority of the Lord. And to accept the authority of the Lord means to receive the protection of Him. To the extent we accept Him, to the extent He provides us full security and protection. Example? Can you give example? Who said? Prahlad. He had no fear because he was fully assured. His aunt was having a boon that she cannot be burned by fire. You all have Holika? Everyone still remembers Holika. She was having this boon that she cannot be burned by fire. But what happened?
She burned.
Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that I am the fire in the Agni, I am the Prabhasmita Sijure. The Agni also he says in the 7th chapter. What Krishna did? Because Krishna is the principal manifestation in fire. He says, Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasam. That I am the heat in fire. 7th chapter, 9th verse.
So when both were in the fire, what happened? Krishna exhibited his potency. He withdraw the heat for Prahlad and he increased the heat for Holika. Holika was burned and Prahlad was saved. Simple, isn't it? Krishna says that I am the heat in fire. So unless and until heat is there, fire cannot burn. Can fire burn without heat? No. And Krishna says, I am the heat in fire. So although Prahlad was pushed in fire, Krishna withdrew the heat for Prahlad. He was saved amidst the fire. But for Holika, what he did, he increased that he burned him. She was burned. Okay, how to understand that Krishna is the light in the sun? Another instance of Mahabharata. Another instance of Mahabharata. What is that? Arjuna took a vow. Yeah, that he will kill these Jayadratha before the setting of the sun. And the Kauravas, they planned in such a way that Jayadratha could not be reached. So Krishna used this formula in Bhagavad Gita. What he did? He withdrew the light from the sun. And everybody thought that the sun has set. So Jayadratha came out in a very challenging way, saying that now I will be the reason for killing Arjuna. And as soon as Jayadratha appeared, Krishna again gave back the heat to the sun. The sun started to sparkle. And Jayadratha was killed. We see so many instances. I remember when I first went to Mayapur, I heard from the priest there of Narsimdev that one boy was burned 80%. 80% burns, no one survives. It's very heavy. So his father came to Mayapur and he prayed to Lord Narsimha, please save my son. And he stayed there and he prayed, called out to Narsimha. And after a while, when the burn area was padded, when it was opened, there was not even a scar. Just few years back. The point is how much of faith or trust we have. To that extent, Krishna reciprocates. It cannot be done artificially. It cannot be done artificially. But miracles are happening every day. One miracle happened. There was this Air India flight to London from Ahmedabad. You know, what was the degree temperature in that flight when it burned? More than 1,000. Everything was completely burned up. Not it was burned to such an extent that nothing was traced. Because at 1,000 degree, I have seen the furnace, I have seen the oven working at 150 degree. Very hot. I don't know what would be 1,000 degree. But the reporter from what is the channel? I don't remember. One very famous reporter went there. And she found Bhagavad Gita intact. And she started to cry and scream. That how this Bhagavad Gita has been, saved. Not even a page was burned. The same Bhagavad Gita was burned, I noticed. So actually Krishna is the controller. The people will have why he cannot control Trump. Why he cannot control Khomeini. He will not control on our terms. He does not control. We want to control Krishna. This is the problem. We don't want to accept Krishna's control, but rather we have the aspiration to control Krishna. That is demon. That is demon. Very important. Krishna says here that Indriyanam Manaschashmi and Bhutanam Chasmi Chetana, amongst the consciousness and the consciousness in all the living entities. So our consciousness, what we have to do? We have to purify. How to purify? To make our consciousness become Krishna conscious. That is the purpose of our society. International Society for Krishna consciousness. When Prabhupada was forming this society in 1966 in USA, so many of those American foreigners, they said, Swamiji, in USA, nobody will understand what is Krishna. Nobody knows what is Krishna. So what do? You name the society International Society for God Consciousness. Prabhupada said, no, this God term is very vague. Anyone and everyone claims to be God. It is not so cheap. This society is meant for becoming Krishna conscious. The entire purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to become Krishna conscious. How to become Krishna conscious? Krishna is saying that when we make our mind become Krishna conscious. Consciousness is Krishna and the mind is also Krishna. But we have to combine. The mind has to become Krishna conscious. Then our mission in human life is successful. There are 72 of the manifestations Krishna is mentioning. We have covered just 8 or 10 so far. We'll continue in the next classes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Okay, you have a question? Ask.
That was considering
Okay, let him ask.
more demoniac.
Oh,
According to the current situation and everyone is what whom do you consider more demoniac?
very difficult, you know. It is like saying that which demon is better. Very difficult. None of them is divine. At least I know that. Neither of them are divine. Both have demoniac motivations or aspirations. Very difficult. We don't side anyone. Whoever gets the opportunity becomes a bigger demon. It is just a matter of opportunity. Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. We have prasadam for you from the temple. I was told that the restrictions are there here in the messes. They're not allowing cooking for anyone from outside, but never mind. They cannot restrict us. So we have our devotee, he has cooked. Akshay Prabhu, he has cooked and he has brought to serve you also. So you please all have prasadam here. It is good. Most of you don't go also to the mess, but you can have light prasad here. It's for everyone. Hare Krishna. Kids will love it. Hare Krishna. What's your name? Akshaj. Which class you are studying? Okay. So you have given your exams of 6th. Very good. Very good. Study, huh? Yes, you have a question? Third. Very good. Very good. Good. We will have a Prahlad school here. Gauragi is there? Or she has left? She has left. She is the youngest. She is 3 years. She has still to go to the school. But she has started to come to the spiritual school. So she is already admitted in the spiritual school. Okay. So you all read. Huh? You all should have a copy of Bhagavad Gita. You don't have a copy of Bhagavad Gita with you? You take one. Your parents also come with you?
Sometimes they
So how did you come to know about this class?
don't.
Acha, with you he's coming. Okay. So you have taken the responsibility to bring him. Huh? Very good. Thank you. Thank you. So buy him a copy of Bhagavad Gita. Huh? This is the best gift that you can give. Yeah. Today itself. Take one Bhagavad Gita, keep it with you. All of you should have your personal copy. And this is our connection with Krishna. And you bring your copy. Yeah. For me, this Bhagavad Gita is most precious. I will not trade it with anything in this world. Because I have marked it. What are important things? Wherever I get inspiration and realization, I have noted it. And I have many notebooks which are filled.
So start writing. Whatever inspires you, at least even one line or one sentence, start preserving it. Otherwise, what will happen? We will lose them. Because we will read only once in a week. How many of you are reading daily? Bhagavad Gita, you are reading daily? Read daily. This is the nourishment for the soul. The nourishment for the soul. I met someone today. I met one of my schoolmates after maybe 20, 22 years. He had gone to Vrindavan. And from there, he called me. He said, I want to come and meet you. I said, please come. Welcome. He is also of my age. We studied together. But I asked him, what do you want to do? After spending more than 50 years in life, what is your understanding? Sorry to say, no clarity. But if we study Bhagavad Gita sincerely, like we are studying now, very soon Krishna will give us clarity. Our ignorance will be dispelled, removed. Our illusion will be over. And then we can really live life and receive what we are wanting is the peace of our heart, the joy. The heart wants to experience joy. So my best wishes to all of you, and please keep coming and please keep hearing. Please dedicate this 2 hours in a week. That's all what we are requesting. Hare Krishna.